You'll notice on the modules page that there's an assignment called 4400 Community Engagement and Reflection. This can be found both in the Quick Access section as well as way down at the bottom in week 14 because it's not due until the very end of the semester. You have 5 hours to complete in a span of 14 weeks, which ends up being incredibly manageable. When you go into the community engagement page, in addition to looking at the unit outcome to see how this ties into the course as a whole, under the description you'll notice you need to have a minimum of 5 community engagement hours. These are service-based hours. I know the term community service often has a connotation that a person has been penalized for something that they've done. That being said, this is an opportunity for you to engage in the community in a service aspect. It's easy in life, particularly in nursing school, as I know many of you are balancing families and full-time jobs and school at the same time. It's easy to sometimes get into a tunnel where you wake up, you go to work, you come home, you eat, you do homework, you go to sleep. And sometimes that can cause our bubbles to get relatively small. These hours are allowing us to engage in the community in a way that may be new or different to us, to help us to see what's going on in the community as a whole, or in aspects of the community that we may not already be familiar with. That being said, I understand that it's brought to our attention every semester that many of you are heavily engaged in service through your church. If you are doing that, unfortunately, that does not qualify for the community engagement that we're looking for 2 reasons. One, that doesn't really get you outside of your bubble and outside of what you are experiencing in your day-to-day life, as many of you, the service you're doing is done on a regular basis in the same location. But more so, it has to do with the fact that the Center for Community Engaged Learning has partners all throughout the state of Utah that we engage with. And so you can go to the Center for Community Engaged Learning website as a whole and learn more and see the resources. But this is shortened into CCEL, and we are a CCEL designated course. So we do things through those partnerships to better serve our community and in turn to learn more about our community in the process. You can go to this calendar of events, and this is incredibly handy. So let's say that you know that you work every Thursday, Friday, Saturday. That's your 312s. But I know many of you have young children at home or significant others or other things going on in your day that make it a little harder to step away in the evenings. What you can do is you can look at this calendar and say, look, Tuesdays I don't have any work. Maybe I can do something then. And you can look to see what works best for you. So there are options and opportunities listed the majority of days, and this calendar will continue to fill up throughout each semester. But you can click on and look. So for example, this is the Ogden Restore, which is sponsored by Habitat for Humanity, is located in Ogden. They will take volunteers anytime from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. on the days that they're open. And part of it involves learning more about what Habitat for Humanity does and how this Restore helps fund projects that give homes to people in need within the community. But part of it, this one tends to be fairly labor involved. So sometimes it involves you restocking shelves. Sometimes it involves you helping move different items and being of service that way. The students who have done the Restore have given very positive feedback as far as their examples or their experiences and examples of what they've done. And so it's been a pretty positive experience for those who have already done this in the past. Now there are other options as well. Another great one is street outreach. This can definitely be a very eye-opening experience, and it is 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. and you can go with Weber Human Services and participate in street outreach all through Weber County. There are similar projects in other counties as well that you can reach out and see what they have. But if you notice, many of these, like this where it's 7 a.m. to 10 a.m., that's 3 hours you can get just in the one day. The Ogden Restore, you can easily get all 5 hours at one time. You are encouraged to try a variety of activities and a variety of engagement just to really see what's going on in the community as a whole. But you just need to complete 5 hours during that. You can also go by your interests. So if you, for example, come into the Weber Sync page, and there's a link to it on your assignment, they have all of these partners here. And so you can look and see, maybe you have an interest in the outdoors in Antelope Island. Maybe you really are interested in juvenile corrections. You can look at Archway. Maybe you can look, if you haven't planned anything for spring break, there's alternative spring breaks, which would easily get your hours done. There are so many different options. So you can also, if you know of an interest of yours, you can click specifically on an option, and then you can look and say, okay, so if I click on Welcome to Done in a Day, it'll tell you more about what that looks like. This group meets every Thursday from 3 to 5 p.m. on campus and does a project. And so you can find out more. All of them will tell you who to contact, so you can find out more information. And that allows you to have pretty quick access to a lot of opportunities to get these hours done. So that community partnership page is that CSAIL page I just showed you. You do need to make sure as you go through this that you're finding ways to engage in something that's new and different to you. This is not a nursing role. The idea of this is kind of taking one step beyond the get on the bus as far as a community assessment and really digging into the community and becoming engaged with those around us. Now, you will answer these reflection questions as well. So what did you do for your community engagement hours? You do need to give specific locations, days, and times. I know that you're already putting that on your time log, but a simple copy-paste will get that done for you. What is the biggest thing that you learned about your community through these hours? What is the biggest thing you learned about community partners, the actual organizations? What's the biggest thing that you learned about yourself? And then did this change your view of your community? If you look down below, there's a rubric that gives you a little more information as far as what is expected and when. If you have any questions as far as what qualifies as community engagement hours, please reach out to your instructors. Thanks.